Colin Anderson is on the score sheet for a third consecutive game in the Jamaica Premier League, scoring his 9th goal of the season in the 66th minute to give Cavalier a 2-1 victory over Portmore United. Anderson is now joint top scorer with Trevante Stewart from Mount Pleasant. Another exciting game featuring Arnett Gardens. This time, they were on the losing end in a 4-2 thriller against last season's beaten finalist Dunby Holding in the second contest of Sunday's doubleheader at the Stadium East Field. Mount Pleasant unable to extend their lead atop of the Jamaica Premier League, playing in a 0-0 stalemate encounter with 13th place Very United. It took 81 minutes for Tivoli Gardens to break the deadlock in what was another exciting Monday night fixture. Keena Simpson made use of a back heel pass from Horatio Morgan to get behind Waterhouse's defense, and with some sleeky movement of the feet, he slotted home what was the only goal of the contest. Welcome to JPL in 30, the highlight show for the Jamaica Premier League. Portmore United suffered their first defeat of the season when they faced Cavalier on Sunday at the Stadium East Field in St. Andrew, Jamaica. Cavalier would strike first from a Dwayne Atkinson's corner kick that found Ronaldo Webster, who headed home on the brink of half-time. Portmore United's captain, Emilio Rousseau, would draw level from a long-range left-footed strike in the 53rd minute. Then Colin Anderson would steal all 3 points with his near-post header. Cavalier starting this contest in second after 90. They are top of the Jamaica Premier League. Here are the highlights. Lance Whittaker and Chris Taylor were in the commentary box.
And yeah, here's a Portmore team, Lance.
Yeah, the Portmore lineup here, a pretty solid one coming in, but with a lot of changes. Haiti's Bernard Constant in goal, one of 3 non-Jamaicans in the Portmore lineup here. And because of a lot of injuries, as many as 6 changes to the side that played last week in the 0-0 draw against Tivoli, and forcing those changes, Mullings and James in, plus also coming in Jaheen Rose, Flemings, the Haitian. Yeah, and the Cavalier just 1 change from their starting roster that beat Humberland last weekend. Orlando Russell out, and in for his seasonal debut in the Jamaica Premier League, Shaniel Thomas in the number 17 shirt. And for the most part, a familiar-looking starting roster for Cavalier. St. Lucian, 23-year-old Vino Bartlett, first choice keeper today. Number 2 Cavalier against number 5 Portmore. Irving with a free kick left-footed early, wide of the target. Constant in goal for Portmore, going for it. Some problems here, and Javon James, first game here for Portmore, misses a great opportunity to score. The rebound comes to Akeem Mullings, who also fluffs his lines and delivers a disappointing left-footed strike on goal. Cavaliers defenders having to work really hard early. Rousseau with a cross inside. And a bit of a scramble there for the Cavalier defenders. Wow, that was a fine effort there by St. John, left-footed. Just flicking that one on goal, and what a save by Vino Bartlett in goal for the Cavalier team. Comes Dwayne Atkinson, who provided 2 assists in the game. His shot deflected by Rudolph Austin, and Constant with a taken goal. Rousseau crashes this one onto the crossbar. Disappointment there for Portmore. All this in the first half. And Cavaliers defenders working overtime. Rousseau denied there by the crossbar. And here's the Cavalier go-ahead goal. Ronaldo Webster with a fine-headed goal. His 3rd of the season, and Dwayne Atkinson with the assist. Perfectly placed corner. And Webster making no mistake. Constant having very, very little chance there at point-blank range. Webster happy with a strike. Here comes the Portmore equalizer. St. John just sets the ball back here now for Rousseau, who delivers a draw left-footed strike. 2nd time hitting the woodwork here in the match, Rousseau, but this time it's hitting and going in. What a goal by Emilio Rousseau. 3rd of the season, team leader in scoring for Portmore as a left fullback. Austin on the chest, and then the standing right-footed strike there that is saved on the near post by Vino Bartlett, who did well there on the near post. And Rudolph Austin, at 37 years old, goes close to scoring his first Premier League goal in about 14 years. And here's Cavaliers' go-ahead goal from Anderson, again from the corner, taken by Atkinson, his second assist of the game. And Anderson with a headed goal, his 9th of the season. Joint leading score with Trevante Stewart. Austin arrives just a fraction late here from this Rousseau delivery. And this late in the game, an opportunity for Portmore to draw level. But that's how it ended. Portmore suffering their first loss of the season.
Ronaldo, it hasn't been the most fluent season for you so far. How important is this, your second goal of the season?
Well, it is very important because we needed this win to go to top the table. Coach been telling us like the opposition team need to catch up us. So it was a very important goal to top the table.
Just talk to me through the goal as well, because you started your run from the right side of the 18-yard box and then came across the defense. Was that a plan of yours?
Yeah, it's a regular thing. That's where I score my most headers. Like take the defender eyes off me and just execute it well.
Well, Philip, the unbeaten run is over. On a positive note, you probably created more chances in the game, but yet you couldn't get the scoreline your way.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the goals that we gave up today were rather soft and to our standard, and I think we could have done much better on those. But as you said, we saw a lot of positive in terms of our play and our movements in the final third, and that is something that we have been working on.
And considering you had to make so many changes, your squad hampered by injury, you would still be impressed by the players who have come in and how they have contributed.
Definitely so. It's an opportunity for them to show us their worth, and they did so today.
So, well, Rudolph, you've done it again. This is the third team in a row. You've had a losing head-to-head record against them coming into it, but a tough performance and a good one for Cavalier.
Yeah, laugh averages. I don't know if it's anything we're doing good, but it was important that we won today, just to even get the lead for a little time. I mean, I know Mount Pleasant can still get back the league, but it was important for us to win today.
And Colin Anderson, well, he's promised you goals, and he's certainly racking them up. Didn't have the best game, but still found a way to find the back of the net.
And that's the mark of a really good striker. We're just pleased. And somehow we just getting the results, because I think even if we don't have a good game, we know to play in the moments, and it helps us a lot.
Arnett Gardens were forced to chase this encounter from the start after former Waterhouse standout player Ricardo Thomas broke the deadlock from the penalty spot in the 25th minute. It was all squared in the 34th minute. Earl Simpson pulling back one for the Junglists. 11 minutes into the second half, Shavai Watkin gave Dunby Holding the lead, and Ricardo Thomas again, this time with a sublime finish, 3-1 with 30 minutes of regular time to play. 2 minutes later, Fabian Reed, with his 5th of the season, closed the gap within 1 from the penalty spot, and Shaquille Powell would kill the contest, 4-2 the final score. These are the highlights. Lance Whitaker and Chris Taylor were the commentators.
This is how the Dumble Holding team will line up. Damian Hyatt between the sticks, Nicoy Christian, Fabian McCarthy, Zachariah Wilkes, Chevoy Watkin coming over from Portmore in the transfer window at the start of the season. Chevon James, Ricardo Thomas, the national wingback, Shaquem Powell in the middle of the park, Stephen Williams coming over from Waterhouse, Stephen Barnett, as we said, from Tivoli, and Tyrese Gow comes into the starting lineup as well. They'll be playing with a 4-4-2, lads.
Yeah, normal Dunbeholden setup there. Their midfield has always been pretty solid, and something that concerns opposing coaches.
Yep, there's Arnett Gardens posing for their picture, and this is their lineup. No changes as we see to their lineup. Eric Edwards between the sticks, Gerald Neal, Earl Simpson, Joel Cunningham, Marlon Martin in the middle of the park, Shanoy Evans, Jamar Purcell, the former JC standout, Kimani Arboyne, who had his best season last year in the Premier League, Fabian Parker Blacks Reed, Ajuma Johnson, and Damari Deacon. Fabian Reed, of course, has the captain's armband. They'll be playing a 4-3-3. Full match statistics. Christopher Mason in charge of this fixture. And the first goal will come from the penalty spot. Kimani Arboyne handling the ball. Mason calling for the penalty. And it was a pass from Ricardo Thomas. He himself would take it from 12 yards and convert for his first of the season. Sent Eric Edwards the wrong way. 1-0 after 25. Then this Earl Simpson after 34 minutes from the Ajuma Johnson delivery, all square. powerful header, low down. Hyatt couldn't get a hand to it. And we'd go into the half at 1-1. Then Shefoy Watkin into the second half, 56 minutes gone. His first of the season. And an assist yet again for Nicoy Christian. Pad marking by Arnett Gardens and Watkin making them pay. Dumbo Holding coming into the second half, the hungrier team. Then Christian, lovely pass inside Barnett, waiting on Thomas. Thomas with the skill to get past Arboin. Thomas with the quality in the right foot. And a magnificent finish into the far corner. Eric Edwards, no chance. Dumbo Holding 3-1 up after 59. Had a celebration to go with it. Lovely performance by the Dumbo Holding left back. Then Fabian Reed getting into the area and pulled down by Fabian McCarthy, wrapping his arm around Reed and pulling him down. Reed to take the penalty, and yeah, his former teammate Damian Hyatt couldn't get the job done between the sticks. Reed 5 on the season, leading goal scorer for Arnett, and 63 in his Premier League career. Then this Ezra Simpson coming on as a substitute, heavy touch, then falling over and allowing Shaquem Powell to get into the box and finish with his second of the season and 75 minutes. Dumbo Holding would wrap it up 4-2. And horrible mistake at the back that for Arnett Gardens. And Dumbo Holding back to their fluent best.
Let me first of all congratulate you on a fine performance tonight. Before we go any further though, the injury that took you off, how do you feel at the moment? How is the injury?
It's okay, just a little jerk. I feel in my chest, but good.
Do you always take your penalties right-footed? Because we were disputing that on commentary.
I rotate them. I rotate it.
Okay, so what made you decide on the right footer today?
Because from week I practice and to notice that the right foot, I give him them the right way, so I use just good, feel comfortable on right foot too.
Well, we expect penalties to score, but your second strike, that right footer from just inside the box, was a beauty. Talk to us about that.
What I said, I practice in training every day. Just when I reach a training early, I just kick some shot off a both foot, left and right.
Okay, congratulations on being man of the match and congratulations on a Dumbo Holding win.
Thank you.
Paul Teagat Davis, a defeat here for Arnett Gardens when many people thought going in that you would have won this match, especially seeing how many goals you had scored, 8 goals in your previous 2 matches before this one. What went wrong for your team tonight?
I think players must realize that the league is real. You know, it's competitive. So you don't win a game like last week and you feel like, I've been telling them since we come out of the party mood, and it catch us today, we was all over the field, Me, myself, I'm part of the team, so I'm not going to throw blames on the players, We just look stupid tonight.
Yeah, defensive errors and a lack of coordination in midfield.
Everything was just poor tonight, everything.
Anything to say about Dumbo Holding's performance, though?
Well, if you keep on making mistakes like on play the way we play, they're going to look good. So you have to give them credit because they capitalized on all our errors, They were more fast to the ball. We were like, hey, still in a party mode. So it's one of those games. I have to keep saying, no, this league is real.
We saw Dumbo Holding score 4 goals against Humberland 4 seasons ago, 4 goals against Malines 2 seasons ago. 3rd time in your history, a 4-goal performance. How satisfying was this?
Very satisfying, because as you could notice at the start of the season, we weren't getting many goals. 1 or probably 2, and most of the time we got none. 4 goals today, very grateful.
Your first back-to-back wins so far this season, so things are beginning to steady off for you?
Yeah, and it's complementary to the attitude change and personnel. You can see a few new personnel out there, a few players who just played in the Manning Cup and the Dacosta Cup, so a little bit more energy to everything, and Sir Coach Aral is back, so a lot of pep in the step now, so we're thankful for everything.
This is highlights from Matchweek 10. We take our first break. JPL in 30. We'll be right back. Welcome back to JPL in 30. Matchweek 10 continued on Monday with another doubleheader. First match of Monday night's doubleheader was a goalless game between Mount Pleasant and Very United. Both teams were unable to create clear goal-scoring opportunities. Javier Brown was given man of the match for his exceptional defensive midfield performance. These are the highlights. Donald Oliver and LJ Williams were the commentators.
We'll start off with Mount Pleasant first, as we take a look at their starting lineup. Daniel Russell, of course, will be in goal. Kimani Campbell, Jamari Topi, Shaquille Dyer, and Sude Makala will form the back four in the middle of the park. Alwyn Harvey returns, Ricardo Morris, Demario Phillips, and up front, Devontae Campbell on one wing, Dwight Merrick on the other wing, Trevante Stewart right down the middle. He has 9 goals so far this season. Yeah, very United, they're in a rebuilding phase at the moment. Roger Williams will be in goal, Donovan Clark, Kenwar Lumpton, Fitzroy Cummings and Alwyn Strawn will be the back four. In the middle of the park, Dwayne Dyatt, Javier Brown and Keon Henry. And up top, Kache Smith, Sean Campbell and the youngster out of Galvin Maseo, Orlando Lawrence, the only goal scorer in the starting lineup, Leger. As we take a look at the full match highlights, they had a few chances. Demario Phillips was trying to guide that towards goal. Well, the chances were few and far between, but this is a good one for Devontae Campbell, who went wider than he wanted to, then dragged that effort across the face of goal. Should have been a target though. Very United with that effort from Orlando Lawrence. Couldn't hit the target as well. And they had even more chances in the second half. This one across the face of goal. Russell spilt it. Well, to be fair, he didn't make much contact with it. Kimani Campbell came right in front of him and took it away from him. McCullough with a chip inside the box. Trevante Stewart holding his balance, utilizing his strength, and blasting it in the chest of Roger Williams, the goalkeeper. He was desperate looking for his 10th goal tonight, and he would get one more opportunity. Trevante Stewart, this was a header that was nodded down and wide. He get another opportunity. This one tipped over the top. The effort there from Kean Henry, and Russell had to get a strong hand on it. Jibison, his effort was locked. Mount Pleasant really tried to reach Veer United, and as the play continued, it would land for Trevante Stewart with a wonderful turn, but again, Roger Williams was in the way. Good block there by Roger Williams. And that's all she wrote.
It was an enterprising performance by you today in midfield. You were everywhere trying to make passes happen. Talk me through your performance.
Well, with some new faces coming into the squad, we definitely need to get a result from this game, either a draw or win. In the week, in the training, we put out the work, consistent, hard work. Tonight we came, tried to execute it, but unfortunately we didn't get the 3 points. We get a point, we're grateful.
Coach, I'm sure it's not the result that you wanted. Talk me through this game.
Well, a very disappointed result. We didn't play with any aggression today. I guess the attitude of the players. You know, I don't know if probably we were playing against a Veer team, but today's performance is very unacceptable.
You mentioned that it's unacceptable. Do you think that your players were a little bit complacent coming into this game?
Well, we could posit a number of things in the game today. We didn't create enough chances like we wanted to, you know, so again, it's a number of things we could say contribute to the game, but the good thing is that we didn't lose the game.
It was a fighting performance from your boys. What do you think about the performance?
Work in progress. Pretty satisfied with the effort, overall effort. We had a few chances. I mean, they are a more experienced team, so we are thankful for the result, and we just have to work and build on this.
So now you think about the goal scoring, you know, your team is now moving forward. Do you think that there will be more goals coming to your team coming soon?
Well, we don't have an out-and-out goal scorers yet, so we're still in the process of building. You know, transfer window have another week or so, so hope to get another striker in. But we like the nucleus that we have now, so I think better things should come. I mean, 7 draws is not bad, but better than to lose the game, so we're in there.
Match day 10 of the Jamaica Premier League concluded with a Tivoli Gardens Waterhouse clash. The boys from West Kingston got going early, forcing Cameron Foster in goal for Waterhouse to make the first couple of saves. This contest got more intense as Waterhouse started to create some chances of their own. And at the end of 90 minutes, Tivoli took all 3 points through an 81st minute strike from Keno Simpson. These are the highlights. Donald Oliver and Lee J. Williams were the commentators.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the team. Waterhouse in 9th spot in the Premier League. Kemar Foster is in goal. Zane Hilton, Romain Blake, Mally Cockings, and the Loxley Reed, the back 4. Ramon Howell, Shamar Booth, Kenroy Howell, and Donado Thomas. And Shaquille Bradford, Deborah Gray up top. So no change to the team, which defeated Harborview in their last fixture.
And there shouldn't be any change. Almost every player was fantastic. Look out for a couple key pieces. Deborah Gray, who's now finding back form. 3 goals for the season. An assist to go along with that in the last game as well. Look out for him up top. Really hard-working striker.
Now it's time to take a look at the starting lineup of Tivoli Gardens. Presently in 12th of 14 teams in the Premier League. Nathaniel Francis is in goal. Keno Simpson, Odin Pennico, Christopher Matthews, and Kevin Pilgrim. Kevin Garnett, Justin Dunn, Trevon McCain, and Janelle Ray in the middle of the park up top. Nakil Wright and Anthony Nelson.
Also, you have to look out for their strength in defense. Odin Pennico took over as a temporary captain in the last game and put in a man-of-the-match display against Portmore United. Also, be on the lookout for Christopher Matthews, who made his JPL debut in his last game and had a very solid game as well.
As we take a look at the full-time highlights here. Tivoli Gardens, Nakil Wright. Was a bit of a hospital pass, but still something came out of it. That was a wonderful stop from Kemar Foster. It was a lovely turn, you know, from Anthony Nelson. And then Foster with a strong hand, and then Ray, Janelle Ray. Romain Blake was in the way, blocking that one. Then the ball played forward. This one played across the face of goal. Gray get involved, trying to find Shaquille Bradford too far in front of him. Thomas is scoring the kick at the back post. That was a wonderful save, you know. Gray thought he had it. He didn't. Then some good work again on a platter for Howell. And wow, he now really rules that miss. Ramon Howell. Waterhouse, they had several opportunities, didn't they? This one just too high, unable to get over it on that occasion. Deborah Gray. And then Morgan coming on as a sub, dragging that one wide. He'd have wanted to do over, but he was wonderfully involved here with the back heel to Keno Simpson, who did all the rest. Cutting inside, slotting home. Kemar Foster wasn't quite ready in goal, you reckon? That went awfully close to him. Could have stopped it with a foot, but you probably saw that one late. Went between defenders, and Simpson was celebrating his 2nd goal of the season. And that was that for this one.
You scored the all-important goal. How does it feel?
Well, it's always a good feeling. We know we had to come out and work hard for this one, and we did that.
Well, you said that you had to come out and work hard. It was a very tough performance. How do you sum up your performance on a whole, and how did it impact the team?
Well, it impacted the team in a good way. We didn't play exactly how we wanted to, but we come out with the 3 points.
And that's
what's important.
Exactly, that's what's important. It's your first 3 points in 7 games. Do you plan to build upon this and push on?
Most definitely, most definitely.
All right, thank you very much, and good luck for the rest of the season, of course.
Thanks.
Coach, I know that wasn't the performance you wanted to back up the excellent win last week. Walk us through the game.
At the start, we started a bit flat today. I think Tivoli caused that. They stuck behind the ball for most of the game. Even at Ninal, you know, they implied more defender on the park. But we were hot and cold today, and I mean we lost concentration, as I can say. You know, out of nothing, and you know we gave up a soft goal. But you know, nevertheless, this is part of the game. We have to just move again and move on for the next fixtures.
You finally broke the hoodoo. You finally got that win. Talk us how it feels.
It was a good game, to be honest, and a hard fight. So we tried to get the goals and we get it today, and we get the clean sheet. So that's more important for us.
You mentioned the clean sheet. This is your second consecutive game, a very hard-fought clean sheets. Do you think that defense is really the backbone of your team?
Yeah, right now we try to do the right thing in training, try to get them down to defend in training all the time. So we try to get to the right way now. So it's going the right way for us, and I think it's good.
Results from the non-televised matches are Humble Lion defeated Chapperton Maroons 3-0, Mobile United clipped Falkland 1-0, and Malines United and Harbourview ended in a goalless draw. Cavalier, Mount Pleasant, Arnett Gardens, Humble Lion, Harbourview and Dudley Holen rounds up the top 6. That's all we have for you this week. This has been JPL in 30. Tune in next week for Matchweek 11 highlights of the Jamaica Premier League, powered by DigiCell.